What's happening, guys? This is episode 45 of the Galactic Explorers Podcast. My name is Multigrain Pasa, filling in for our fearless leader host of Ash. He's not with us today. I'm also joined by Kings. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, Jeff. Yeah, very good. Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. Glad to hear you. I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks, so I'm excited to sit down and chat.
Yes, I missed the last one, so I'm very much looking forward to catching up with the No Man's Sky news.
Awesome. And before we start into that, I just want to say I'm quite enjoying your videos that you're putting out.
The Dreamer episodes?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. I'm glad you are. They've some of them have taken a lot of time, and the third one, which is the first one with the next content, it took me quite a while to sort of find a way in and a way to it's been really fun trying to tie in the ARG with the game and the game content and the change of content, and I don't know where it's going to go, frankly, from here, but it's been fun so far anyway. So thanks for saying you enjoy it.
So I'm guessing the first two episodes recorded pre-next?
Yes. The first two episodes
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were pre-next, and sort of I was trying to give a sort of a feeling of impending change and something's going to happen, so that then I could do the post-next stuff.
No, that's pretty cool. The foresight to see that happening. That's pretty good. I didn't know.
Well, I mean, we've all been getting very excited about Next for quite a few months beforehand, didn't we? So I knew it was coming.
Yeah, definitely. Next has been a huge upgrade in almost all aspects of the game. So
yes, very much so. Yeah.
All right, so let's break it down. So I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks. The first time you talked about Next was with Ash, right when it, pretty much a day or two after it launched. So
yes,
I listened to that video, and I was wondering, if has anything changed, any of your opinions, or if you found anything new, or any other new grievances you have with the game, or anything, or just give me your opinion. It's a couple weeks in now, so.
Okay. Yes, that first chat with Ash was literally a day or two after it had dropped. So we were both not really having had too much time. One of the reasons the Dreamer video has taken so long is that I keep just playing rather than working on the video.
Right.
Okay, good things. I think that, I started a new game.
Oh,
and
okay.
So I started from the beginning. I did play a little bit on a previous save, but it felt like it was so big I might as well see it from the beginning. And I think that's really good, because the starting few hours in that tutorial mode, I think it's so good now. It's as far as I can tell, they always put you on a slightly toxic but not entirely horrible planet.
Right.
And they really, really nicely take you through sort of repairing and getting your multi-tool sorted and finding your ship and repairing that and getting off the planet. And I think it works really well now. And if you haven't tried a new save since Next, I'd say do it. Just even if it's only for 5 or 6 hours, just to experience it.
I've always said that when you start a new game, those first couple hours of that game are the best. There's really nothing like it out there. Just that whole starting off, getting your thing done, and I've always been a person that said that the first 5-10 hours of the game is just incredible.
I was just going to say, some games, that's all I see.
yeah, right. Especially when you can't take games have you ever played Uncharted?
Yes, all of them, yeah.
You could pretty much, if you buckle down, you could pretty much beat the new Uncharted in 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, you probably can.
And that's the whole game right there. Where in this game, you can get yourself going, up and running in 8 to 10 hours, but there's so much more open to you after that first initial 10 hours of this game, where, you still have so much more work to do. There's so much more stuff that you can complete, and it's just, I love No Man's Sky. It has its downfalls in certain spaces, but For the most part, there's really nothing like it out there. And it's just a really cool experience. It's really fun.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I checked yesterday, and I've got 35 hours in Next. So in that new game, I've got 35 hours, and I'm still going through the all of the specialist terminals, and I think I've got the Roma, the first vehicle, but I haven't got any of the other ones yet. And I've still got 4 or 5 sort of missions from the various specialists to complete. So, and I know I get distracted, and I have spent a lot of time building,
right?
Because that's one of the big things, I think, in pre-Next, when we could build a base. Partly only being able to build it where they say you can build is, that was just stupid. Well, not stupid. I understand the restrictions, but being able to just put down a widget that says, right, my base is here, I think that's great. But the biggest thing, I think, is that the limitation on size, the number of elements you could have in the previous base was so small that if you wanted to do things like put beds and chairs and decoration in, your base had to be really tiny before you. On PlayStation, certainly, I'm sure it's bigger on PC, but yeah, on PlayStation where I play, you could hardly do anything. Whereas now, currently I've got this enormous, great wooden warehouse. I mustn't drop a match in there, otherwise it's all going to go up. and I've done an awful lot of tunneling, because I was going to try and tunnel down through the hill to the beach.
Oh, there you go.
I'll have to invite you around to show you my tunnel.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You know what I didn't like about like pre-Next building was obviously the limitations, because I also play on PlayStation. The limitations were really weird, because if you build anything glass, it counts more than a single piece. So
did it? I never knew that.
Like, at least that's what I found. Like, if I wanted to build like a glass building, say, like a big glass building, like I could, for some reason, I just felt like I could build less with glass walls and stuff than I could just with other pieces.
That's interesting.
I'm not really
built. Sorry,
like I said, I can't confirm that's how it really worked, but when I was building, like, that's how it seemed. Like, because I always wanted to build like just a big glass house, so like you could see everything going on around you, and I just, like, when I started building, it just seemed like I had no space. And so, like, I could build, like, a small little house, and then when I wanted to go build a farm next to it or something like that, like, my limitations were... Yeah, my limit was reached. And so I don't know if that was an actual game mechanic where glass pieces counted more. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but it just felt that way.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's one for the surround and one for the glass. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Just like I said, it just felt that way to me. But like now, like the limitation's so high. I mean, like I don't even think it would be an issue anymore. So
yeah,
it's
I
like
put down
20,000 pieces. Yeah,
is it right? Okay.
It's like 20,000 pieces. I think it is now.
Yeah. Well, I've put down hundreds of wooden floors to get my tunnel going through the hill, and I have to say, I'm on a launch edition PlayStation, so not the Pro. And around my base, if I go away and I run back to it quickly, that it's struggling to regenerate all of the nice things like the grass and those other things, and some of the terrain manipulation that I've done around the building, that disappeared and hasn't come back. So, it's not flawless, but I have to say it's so much improved that it makes me want to do some of that building and build that beach house with a tunnel back to the warehouse.
See, now I have a PlayStation Pro, and I haven't like really got into building a humongous place yet. I'm still searching, and I'm still like I'm just getting through like upgrading my multi-tool and my ship and my suit and stuff like that. Like I wanted to get that out of the way before I actually start settling down and looking for a spot. Plus, I've been working on my fleet. Like I have like 30 ships in my fleet now and everything like that. And,
30? Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I kind of did things backwards. I should have just did the base first and then did everything after that. So I had a nice home to come back to always. But it's whatever. I mean, now I'm pretty much getting set. I'm just kind of finishing up all that huge mess that I was getting myself into. So I'm looking forward to getting into building like a humongous base. So like I'll let you know if I have problems too with if I build it too big, to see if the same thing happens on the Pro. But I'll be actually kind of interested to see how that handles it too. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, everything looks lovely. But yeah, I definitely have experienced that. If you're going too fast at a low level where you're expecting to see detail, it can take a while to come in.
Right.
I like the way that when you come down and you land on the planet. They've been really clever. Have you noticed that as you come into land, it's looking like there's some detail and stuff, but it's not fully fleshed out. But just as you land, there's always a little dust plume that comes up and obscures your vision, and then it clears, and then all the detail is there. And so they're hiding the pop-in, which I think is they've done it really well. I thought it was really good.
No, the pop-in actually is a lot better than what it was when the game first launched. I mean, it was so noticeable back then, but now they did a really good job. And like one thing I really like now too is the planets look from space. They look like what they do when you go in.
That's a big thing. Yeah. How many times in the previous did you look? Oh, look, that's a water planet. I can see all this blue. And you get down there, and it's some parched.
It's like little patches of like little ponds and stuff like that. But I was like, wait a minute, it didn't look like this from space. Like now, it actually looks from space. It actually looks like it does when you're flying in and you land and stuff like that. So I don't know what they did, but like that was a huge improvement for next. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. What else did I have on my my list of the nice things? Oh yes, I quite like the hunt for the special items in the ruins. Dig up the keys and open the box and see what little special thing. I've done 2 or 3 of those. Unfortunately, I missed out on because I think they were worth millions to start with.
I found one that was worth 19.5 million. At one
right, okay. I've not found one worth more than about 400,000, I think.
Yeah, they took that away really really fast. Within like a week, that was gone.
They've done lots of updates though, haven't they?
Oh,
I think we're on 5.6 now.
Yeah, and actually 5.7 should be coming out. It just went live on PC, and it should be coming out for PlayStation. I bet you probably by the end of today or by latest Monday. I don't think they'll do a patch over the weekend. I don't think PlayStation will do that, but PC is official 1.57 is out today. So
right, okay. Oh well, that's even more fixes. I mean, there's still bugs. There's still things. They still haven't fixed from the very beginning. I would continually get that. Oh, you're disconnected from the online servers. When you go into the discoveries to upload your data,
right?
On the bottom left, more often than not, it's a red symbol, and I've been disconnected. So my discoveries, whilst I think I'm uploading them, and I'm getting the credit for it, it's not actually going up to their servers until at some point in the future when I am playing and I, for whatever happens in the background, I get connected again. So
that's been a problem all along, though. I mean, it's always been hit or miss with the online servers for some reason. I don't know why it can't stay up on the regular. I don't know if that's them working on new future update content, or they're working on patches for bugs fixes. I don't know if they bring it down to do that so they can do testing or whatever, but it's always been like that since day one, where it's like hit or miss with the online service. So,
but it's annoying because my home planet, which is in the system I started in, that's that's discovered by somebody else, because whilst I updated it, someone else came into my game very early on.
Oh man!
And him uploading it has meant that he's got the credit. So, it's not important.
Right.
Not really. Not in the grand scheme of things, but it's frustrating.
It would be frustrating if like that was your whole world, and then like you wanted to call it something, and someone else called it something like completely out of control. Like.
Yes.
Like Dick Butt World or whatever like that, like just something like you're like, damn, I just spent all this time like building this huge base, and then some fucking kid comes in here and he just names it some stupid name. Like that would piss me off.
Yeah, you'd have to leave, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would have to. I mean, but oh man, that would really make me mad. All that time, just wow.
Yeah, I know. And this home world is really lovely. There's absolutely no weather. Or adverse weather. It's green and grassy. There's water. Oh, and speaking of water, that was one of the things that really struck me. I had to go to a point some distance away. It was about 10 or 12 minutes away. And normally, you'd fly up to space, get up to a good speed, and come back down again. But I thought, I'll just fly across the surface. And it's something that they've introduced. Best way I can describe it is oceans. In the past, if you got water, it was always fairly small, unless, sort of lakes, unless you're on a planet which was all loads of water and just a few islands. Right. Whereas here on this planet, it's where I landed, there was just a few lakes. But flying across, suddenly I came across this vast area that was almost all water.
Right.
So that's a definite change from the original sort of single biome, in that, whatever you see around you is basically what you're going to get repeated everywhere on the planet. Whereas now there's this somehow they've introduced the concept of large areas of water. So that's quite fun.
And not only that, the water is much deeper now too.
I haven't experienced that.
Yeah, if you I've tried going around underwater, like it's still just a pain because you go so slow. I don't know why they didn't speed that up or give you something that speeds you up underwater. Like I'm so hoping that comes, but
we need a submarine.
If you go underwater, like it's much deeper now, and not only that, there are underwater caves where they go on forever. So if like you don't have your air device
module,
if you don't have that installed, like, I mean, you're gonna die down there. I mean, but the one good thing about that is that they help you with that, because those sea kelp, those like light ball things. If you can mine those, but you can also go up to them and pick them, and then that fills your oxygen back up.
Oh, you're joking. Like Mario?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, kind of. So, I mean, if you're underwater for a long time and you're running out of air, if you see one of those, like, sea kelp, whatever the heck they are, with the glowing balls on them or whatever, like, if you go up to them, don't
kelp sack, they're called.
Yep. If you just don't mind them, you can pick them, and then it fills your oxygen level back up.
Top tip. You heard it here. Oh, okay. If we're on the subject of tips, this is the only one that I found that I hadn't seen anywhere else. And if you are growing plants, to do the farmer missions, you've got to grow some plants. I only found out yesterday. Maybe you already know, but if you scan your growing plant, your scanner tells you how long it is until it's going to flower, and you can come back to pick it.
I did not know that.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad I've told you. So it was just doing my head in. I thought the game was broken. It's like I thought it was only half an hour. Where's this going?
See, like on my main save, I did a lot of farming pre-next. So, like, I have, like, 1 billion credits. So I haven't had the chance to, like, I haven't really had the need to go and make a farm yet. But I'm planning on doing a new save sometime soon. I'm waiting for them to really lock down them fixing the glitch for portals. Because there's still a lot of...
Gosh.
Because there's still a lot of... yeah. There's still a lot of people saying that they're not registering when you pick them up, and I want that nailed down before I start a new save. Like, I don't want to waste time because those travelers are so hard to find sometimes at space stations. I don't want to waste my time like finding a person, then going to the grave, and then having the portal glyph not registering. So when they finally nail that down, that's when I'll start a new save.
Right. Okay. I haven't even done the glyph bits yet in my restart.
Right.
I'm at the stage where Apollo is constantly nagging me to go and do something, but I've got other things I want to do first.
Right.
But I've noticed the travelers, my experience, there seem to be one in most stations now, at least I think. Yeah, pretty much most of them. So hopefully it shouldn't take too long to go through 16. I wonder if the exploit is still there. Previously, you could, once you found one and you got it, I forget what you did. I think you did something, I can't remember now, but it was something to do with saving and then restoring, and you didn't lose the discovery, and you could do it again to keep going back to the same one.
I didn't know that.
No, well, that's
I
cheesed my way.
I got all my glyphs. Pre-next, there was a planet out there that someone found, and they put comm stations on the planet's surface, and there was like a map, and there was
fantastic.
There was as long as you got 2 glyphs to use a portal to get to this planet, because it only took 2 glyphs to get to this planet. Right. As long as you got your first 2 glyphs, there was 14 comm balls on the planet where you could go and just pick up all the glyphs right on the planet. Right. So like you didn't have to do any like exploits or anything like that. It was all mapped out for you. Those are all gone now because obviously with Next everything changed and all the comm balls got reset and everything like that. So I'm sure the people that made that first one are probably already looking around for doing the same exact thing again to help people, because that was so helpful. That saved me a lot of time. I mean, like I think I had like 6 or 8 glyphs when I started, and I just had to go to that planet for like maybe a couple hours to just run around and get the other 8 that I needed or whatever. So that was a huge help.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because these sort of exploits, on the one hand, you want all the glyphs so that you can travel anywhere, but on the other, by using the exploit, you're kind of cheating yourself out of some of the experience and the challenge, or no, the achievement of actually getting them the long way or the way as it was intended. So sometimes it's I don't know. It's difficult. I cheated my way through all 16. So I'm not moaning. I'm not arguing or telling you that you've done it wrong. It's just we cheat ourselves, don't we, with our impatience.
Hey, let me tell you what, man. I'll take any break I can now. I've been literally looking for a S-class fighter. For probably about. I'm not even joking, dude. I probably spent at least 30 hours so far since post-Next looking for a new S-class fighter, and I cannot find one. I find tons of them that are A-class max slot fighters, and I just can't get them to spawn in a max slot S-class fighter, and it's like so frustrating. Like I'm spending so much time trying to find a ship, and like I could be doing so much other stuff right now, and it's just like I could easily just say screw it and just stay with the A-class one and just do it that way, but it's like you're losing out on a percent bonus, like it's like 11 or 12% extra bonus to damage for the fighter ships. And,
yeah, sure. No, I understand, and you know that it's there, so you want it. Exactly.
I know that like it's just if I just wait a little bit longer, it will happen. But I mean, dude, honestly, I've been waiting so long, and like I went on the internet and people are like posting portal glyphs to go to these planets, and like, yes, go to this station right here, and it's guaranteed to spawn. Like, you just got to wait a little while. And I'm actually at a place right now where someone pointed out there's 2 different ships that are S-class fighters max slot, and they're like, oh yeah, you can find them here. I said, why you got mine? And I've been here maybe 8 hours between yesterday
nothing.
I mean, I can find plenty of A-class ones. I just can't find an S, man. It's just...
that's frustrating.
So frustrating. So you know what? I'll take whatever portal glitch or whatever, or the glyph glitch or whatever. Like, I'll take those. Like, you're not taking anything away from me because I'm spending so much time trying to find ships now that it's really frustrating.
Well, it's that feeling of if you try and do it the long way, you're just going to get so annoyed and frustrated that you don't play the game.
Right.
So sometimes the exploit actually keeps you playing the game for longer, and therefore one could say it's actually a good thing that there are some of these things there, because it extends the life of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you know what, to some people that's annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like their way that they want to play the game isn't hunting down these glyphs. They just want to go out and explore. Yeah. So I mean, if you're telling me that, like, yes, give me a glitch so I can get these glyphs better, so I can go out and actually play the game the way that I want to play it, and I just want to explore and I just want to see new things, and you know, like someone that wants to do that, to them it's wasting their time trying to find all the glyphs. You know what I'm saying? Like they just want to get to the end game where they can just go out and just do what they want.
Sure. But there's a risk, isn't there, that if you jump through to getting maximum everything, there's less to do and you get bored.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, realistically though, I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, maybe the next update for this game will come out in 6 months. Like, you're not going to be playing the game as much as you're playing right now 6 months from now. So regardless if you have everything or not, I mean, with all these, like with other games, I mean, other games come out. I mean, and people take breaks from games to play other new ones that are coming out. So I mean, like, it's not like this is the only game on the market. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are, I mean, I know me personally, I do play other games. So yes, this has my attention at this point in time right now, and like I'm never not gonna like just never play it. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie to myself when I know that a couple months from now there's gonna be games coming out that I'm gonna want to play. You know, yes. So like I can't play 2 games at once. So I mean, I mean, like obviously, like my time will slowly dim away on this a little bit. But I mean, I'm still gonna be playing it, but it's just not as much as I'm doing right now. You know, so.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I mean, you know, no matter what people say about so many planets and systems, you could spend your life exploring them. That's not the way that we work, is it? There's always something new and shiny coming along. And whilst I am loving my time in No Man's Sky, it's not going to be the only game forever.
Right.
Maybe we'll have a little chat later about what's coming out later in the year.
Absolutely. So, is there anything else good that you want to talk about, or do you want to get into any bad now? Because I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious on your opinion on a couple of things. So.
Okay. No, I think I'm pretty much done. I mean, yeah. There's overall just really pleased with it as an update. I think it's transformed the game.
Oh yeah.
And whilst I haven't had much experience of the multiplayer. Did get in with Ash just briefly, just for 20 minutes, but it was going a bit glitchy. I think he spoke about that on your last chat. But I mean that's one of the big things, isn't it? That saying multiplayer and then giving us four people, up to 4 people in one session, and that's it, is not good enough.
Yeah, it's not.
It's great as a start,
right?
But they need to quickly sort themselves out so that they can support at least 16 in an area, and they need to dynamically join people into some form of server session, so that if you meet someone randomly, it isn't going to be a glowing orb.
I know. I was crushed, man, when I found that out.
Yeah, I heard you last week.
I have a huge problem with just the 4 players in your party. I think that's. I mean, it's good. Like, it's a next step. Okay, yeah. Like I will be really upset with Hello Games if they just stay compliant with that 4 players in a party.
I don't think they will. They're working on.
I hope.
Making it
I
better.
sure hope no. I mean, and we have 16 player lobbies. There's no reason why we can't have 16 player models. I mean, if that's the case, then like they got to do something there because it's pointless. I mean, what if? I mean, I have more than 4 friends that play No Man's Sky, so
Right.
if I wanted to join in a party with them, I have to pick and choose who I'm playing with.
Yeah, you got to pick your favorite friends.
Yeah, and like that's to me that's dumb. Like I mean, like it should be that like. Okay, so I have 4 players in my party, but the other 12 people, if I give them a portal address, they can meet me, and we all are playing together, and we all see each other.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's so stupid that, like, only 4 players can see each other and everybody else is orbs. It's ridiculous that, like, I know it's hard because, like, coming across a random player is extremely hard, but it does happen. And the fact that you can't see that player model and it's just an orb, like, it's such a buzzkill. It really should, they really need to fix it, like you said, where if 2 players are in the same place and it's a random encounter, then somehow they get linked up into a session where they both can see each other's player model instead of an orb.
Yeah, absolutely. Currently you can just join a random person,
Right.
which is fine. That needs to be 16 or even more. But if the systems are there, so if you go to a star system where there are other players, it should automatically just merge your party. So as long as it doesn't exceed the limits, so that you can see them.
Right.
It's just how it should be, and that would be great because then, if you go into a system and there are players already there, you'll get some sort of indication that they're there, and you can go and find them.
Mm-hmm. And
whereas now, nothing is there.
And they need to do something too. Like if you come across a random player, that if like you click on that, even if it's still an orb, like there has to be a little drop down or something, like a choice where if you click on that player's orb, you can choose to join their game.
Yes, that would be good.
So then you can see that player's, so you can see that player model instead of an orb. Like I think that's something, like if they're not going to change that, then they got to give you that option of, if you see another random player, then give you an option to join their party so you can see each other.
Yeah.
The whole orb thing is, it's disappointing. I mean, that's pre-next. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought they were just going to get rid of that entirely, but it's still here. I mean. So when people talk about like multiplayer, it's 4-player co-op with everything else from pre-next. That's not any. The only thing new is 4-player co-op. I mean, it's still the same multiplayer we had before next, but just with 4-player co-op. So
I agree. It needs changing.
I mean, so like that's one of my huge disappointments with next in general.
And isn't it weird that giving us some multiplayer makes us disappointed?
I know, like we should all be happy about it, and like, and don't get me wrong, like I am really happy with multiplayer. I like it's a lot of fun playing with your friends. I've had a blast playing, in some sessions with my friends playing, and it adds so much more to the game. It does, it really does. But it's just, man, it could be so much more. Like. I mean, okay, I'm sure, like, leading up to next, there was a lot of talk of, like, people, like, staging wars with each other and, like, fighting and stuff like that, and you can't even do that now.
No.
I mean, there was a lot of people on both sides of the coin, good and bad, that had tons of plans on what they were going to do, and all those plans are ruined. I mean, even look at I hate to bring up this example because I hate these people, but if you look at the Galactic Hub, they made this huge defense force, right? Cool idea. I totally creative, and I respect hard work and creativity. I don't like them in general, but the fact is that they did something really fun, and all that hard work they put into it is meaningless now because you can't see other players. You can't see anybody other than 4 people in your party. Even you can't even you can't even see random players. Like you can't even if you wanted to defend space, like you can't do it because they're just orbs. Like it ruined a lot of people's hard work. And I'm crossing my fingers and putting all my eggs in the basket of hope that Hello Games fixes that whole system.
I'm sure that they will, but it's just when.
Yeah.
How soon will they do it?
I know. Is it going to take another year for them to do like that? Would be really disappointing if it took them a year to do that.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're waiting for the excitement to die down and the number of people on the servers to drop a bit, so they won't grind to a halt.
Yeah, but you know what? That they should be trying to do it now when the population is up, because what's going to happen?
I think so.
Because what's going to happen? Like, okay, fine, they do it now. They do it 6 months down the road when the population is down. So then they institute bigger player lobbies. What's going to happen? Like, what happens if a bunch of people come back to the game and try it out? So that means the servers are going to crash because you base it off of a lower server population. Like, I mean, like, so they should be trying to do it now when the servers are high, so they can stress test their servers and how it works.
Yeah, sure. No, I agree.
I mean, there's so many bugs with this game as it is right now. I mean, I'm sure they have their hands full. I mean, we still don't even have the weekly events that they were talking about that we were supposed to get. I mean, we're almost 3 or 4 weeks into next being out, and they said that we were supposed to have weekly events every week, and it's almost a month, and we still don't have any of it yet. So, I mean, I know that they're working on.
What did they say? I know that they said. What did I read? Something about getting the fixes, or the first sort of tranche of bug fixes done, and then they start them. So maybe we need to see the updates slow down a bit before they'll start doing anything new. They're obviously working very hard on trying to get it stable.
I mean, they're coming out with patches almost twice a week for fixes and stuff like that. So I mean,
I've never known anything so quick.
I mean, I've never seen a company respond that quickly to bug fixes. But in return, I mean, I haven't really played too many games where there's this many bugs to begin with, and that's a fault of not having it play tested or not having betas or anything like that, because they want everything to be secret. So that's the downside of secrecy, is that when the game actually comes out, like, then all these bugs that you didn't think about come out, and then you're running around for a month trying to fix everything, and I mean, and that's the worst thing, because I mean, a lot of players that weren't playing before came back to try Next, and I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos where people complaining about, Next is great, it has a bunch of cool stuff, but it's still broken and there's a lot of bugs and it ruins my gameplay.
Right, okay. Didn't know people were saying that.
So
I haven't had that many. Have you had that many crashes?
The first week and a half, I had tons of crashes where I felt like if I went to certain systems or if I went to certain planets, like either getting out of my ship or getting back in my ship, the game would just constantly crash. There's other small things, but the crashes were so bad at some point. There was nights where I couldn't even play just because it was so bad.
Yeah, and that'll some people that'll just make them say, "Oh, I'm not playing this. What's the point?"
Yeah, exactly. And there was a bad bug going around too, where people were losing their legacy saves. Like if they had a day one save or something like that, there was a bug where they were losing their saves.
Oh.
So just imagine,
surely though. Imagine... Okay, yeah, all right. Losing and getting it corrupted, but assuming that you've got one saved up in the cloud or on a USB stick, I assume you could copy it back.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
Who does that?
I mean, like I have a USB stick that maybe every once in a while I'll throw it in there just to save my No Man's Sky save, but I don't do it every day. I think I've done it once. I think I've done it once since Next came out, just because I heard of people losing their saves. Right. So I shouldn't have to do that. Like I shouldn't.
No, but your PS Plus, I assume. You have PS Plus?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so that I think should be automatically saving up to the cloud every night for you if you put your PlayStation into sleep mode, rest mode.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there. I mean, I'm not too worried about it, but I mean, it's the fact of having to go through that trouble to reload. It shouldn't happen in the first place.
No, that's very true. I haven't experienced anything like that. It might have crashed once. I've just had what I assume to be fairly normal sort of graphical glitches, especially when trying to use the teleport from space station to base and back again.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly just a black screen with the noise, and sometimes half a black screen and half a sort of multicolored sort of rainbow type screen.
I've never had that. So
all right, every time for me, never works properly.
Maybe that's like a limitation of the regular PlayStation to the Pro, because I have never had that happen.
Right. Well,
I've had it where if I was in my inventory and I happen to go through the teleporter, as I'm flying through the teleporter screen, my inventory screen stayed open.
Oh, okay.
So like that. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, it didn't hurt anything. It was just that the inventory screen was overlaid the teleport cutscene and stuff like that. So I mean, it wasn't the biggest deal, but it's still, I mean, kind of a glitch.
Yeah. What was the other one I had? Oh, I was in creative mode and I built an underwater base, and then I teleported to it from the space station, and it put my ship. It planted it right at the bottom of the of the water.
Were you able to get out? Were you able to get in your ship and fly out of the water?
Yeah. I could swim to it, jump in, and as soon as I hit R2 to launch, it just sort of rocketed straight up through the water and up into the air. So it was fine. It was just unexpected. I thought it would put it on land or one of the ship platforms that I'd put above the water. So that was interesting.
Dude, this game would be so good if they had an underwater submarine or a ship or something like that. Like, because now, like, I have a feeling that like there's a lot of cool stuff underwater, and I've seen a lot of cool pictures of people doing stuff underwater, and especially bases and all this other stuff. Like, and like I've personally seen like some really cool underwater caves I want to explore. But man, if I just had like a little tiny a vehicle or like some type of a motorized like motor that I could hold on to that make me go underwater faster, like it would be so much better. Like I would love water. Like I would just love going underwater so much more. It's just that it's so slow still. Like, oh my god, man.
Yeah, I know it is. I guess if you load up on whatever element it is to recharge your breathing, and if that combined with as you say, one of those sort of little sort of motors with a propeller on it, that would be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
just to drag you along in the water.
Just to go a little bit faster. I mean, because right now it's just way too long. And like I went on a planet where literally almost the whole entire surface was water. And there was like just little tiny islands like here or there. Like there was no big land masses or anything. It was just like every once in a while you seen like one little tiny island, a flat spot that was on top of the water, and that was it. The rest of it was like it was a legit water world.
Wow, I've not seen one of those since the first edition.
I have literally only seen one, and like I remember like I was looking around and like it was hard to find a place to land my ship. Because there was, I mean, and I would actually go all the way back out into space just to see if, like, okay, can I find, like, a big landmass or whatever? And I couldn't find it. And it was just, like, every once in a while, there was, like, one little tiny flat spot that I could actually physically land my ship. And it was, like, a legit water world. And I'm thinking, like, wow, man, like, this would be awesome if there was something I could do to explore the water, because there's probably some cool shit down there, you know? Like, it's just, I'm not swimming through the water on that. Like, they got to fix that. They got to do something there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, maybe it'll be an enhancement for your backpack, just to give some sort of movement underwater sort of enhancement or something. That would work.
That's why I don't understand either, because one upgrade you can get for your movement is like the rocket boots, and like that would be a perfect opportunity to be like, here, get these rocket boots, and they help you boost through water. I mean, like, just add that in. Like, it wouldn't even be that hard. I mean, and it's not like this isn't like something new. Like, the community has requested something for underwater for months and months and months now. So I don't understand why they didn't add that in for us. I mean, because they've added in a lot of stuff that we requested, like some really weird stuff too that we've never even, like, that wasn't even really, even like that popular requested, like they got put in. But the underwater, I mean, people have been wanting that for a really long time now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you would imagine it will be because it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason why. I mean, I'm not a designer or a coder or anything like that, so I don't know.
No, sure, nor am I. But it might. If you go to a planet that has got no atmosphere on it, and you use your jetpack, you go a lot higher.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my gripes. It's as though no atmosphere equals low gravity, but it might be the whole atmosphere thing. And if they're using a sort of a relative density of the medium you're in, so either nothing, vacuum, air, or water, to determine how fast or how much you move, maybe it's that it's sort of an integral part of the movement mechanism.
Right. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I mean, like, just they could find a way around it. Yeah, they could. They could find something around it. Like, I know they can do it. Like, they made a whole universe. Like, there's no reason why you can't make something to help us underwater. Like, that's all we're asking for.
Yeah, it's software, for goodness sake. Code around it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, I'm really enjoying Next. I have small gripes, but for the most part, I'm pretty pleased with what we got. So
yeah, me too. Very, very pleased. And there's nothing bad enough that's stopping me playing. In fact, there's so much new and exciting that I just want to keep playing it. It's really, really good. Really good fun.
Yeah, it is exactly. All right. So anything else you want to add? We can maybe move on to something else, or.
No, I'm pretty much done. I think with the No Man's Sky. Nothing else I can think of.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done too. So.
No, actually, I've just remembered. I've got one question because I haven't done it yet. What happens when you kill or are killed in the multiplayer?
Oh, okay. So if you kill another player in multiplayer, the person that kills you doesn't get anything.
Right.
If you're on the ground, you spawn close where you can pick up your grave. Okay. The other player can't pick up your grave, but the garbage thing about that is that if you join somebody's game and they kill you, after they kill you, they can kick you out of the party, and you can't pick up your grave. So you lose everything in your inventory. So if you're gonna go down that route and you're gonna try attacking people or doing whatever, make sure you don't have anything valuable on you, because somebody could just really mess you up and
be either really overpowered or don't have anything.
Yeah. I have spent a ridiculous amount of time upgrading my multi-tool, and my multi-tool is really strong. And I've had people join my game trying to mess around with me, and I have yet to be killed once. I've killed multiple people, and I've even been teamed up on by like 2 or 3 people, and I have still yet to be killed because my multi-tool is just so strong. Right. And I've never actually... In the beginning, I was joining people's games and running around and killing people, but I since then kind of slowed down on that whole thing. Just because, like, in the beginning, there was a lot of new players, and you could tell new players opposed to people that have been playing for a while. And a lot of the times, the people that you randomly join games on, were all new players. And so, instead of me killing them, I would actually run around and help them do stuff. So, I kind of just slowed down on the whole joining people's random games and trying to fight them or whatever. I've been really concentrating on my own play and getting my multi-tool and my exosuit set up, and now I'm looking for a really good ship. Like I have a bunch of exotic ships, but I want that S-class fighter ship with the slots and everything.
Right.
I have everything else that I want. I just been looking for that stupid fighter ship. So, and the same exact thing too. If you're fighting somebody in space or above ground, if you're in somebody's party and they kill you in your ship, you could still go back and get your grave, but they could also kick you out, and you can lose everything in your ship inventory too.
Right. Okay.
So it's just
risk.
There's a high risk involved. So they can't collect your stuff, but neither can you if they kick you. So
I understand, and I'm glad that it's in theory not a rewarding thing to do to kill another player. In that you can't do it for stuff.
No,
I think that's quite good. I wonder if the kicking someone out is just a feature that they didn't anticipate, or maybe they couldn't code around in the time that they had available.
Another bad thing about random people joining your party is that if someone randomly joins your party, they could actually delete your base on you.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Gone totally blank. Didn't hear you then.
No, I was saying that the bad thing that they can do...
There?
Yeah, I'm here.
Connection lost.
I can still hear you.
Okay. Probably the network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having technical difficulties here.
A few moments later.
Through the magic of video editing, it'll be fixed.
Yes, that's right. All of this faffing around.
So there's something I wanted to ask you really quick, because I was just looking over the Skype conversations. What did you say you seen in the game files for No Man's Sky about VR support?
Oh yeah, okay. I think I saw this on. I think it must have been L Plays. I don't know if you watch. I watched some of his videos, and he was talking about a couple of things that have come out. Someone's done some dive into the Next files, and there were two things in there. One is that there was a section of files referencing VR. Mm-hmm. I think nothing very much behind it, but obviously sort of they pre-release. Sean Murray was quite excited about the thought that VR would be quite a nice, cool thing to have. Right. So they've obviously, and I know that I saw something about them having a VR kit in the office. So I know that they've been toying with it. Clearly, they'd like to do it. It's just interesting that there is actually some files there with labeled VR. And that it may be something that will come. It may be that the current PlayStation, the base PlayStation, isn't powerful enough, even with the sort of fairly low fidelity on the PlayStation VR. It might be that they need to wait until they're allowed to make a PS4 Pro only version of something, or indeed. Maybe it's PlayStation 5 in a couple of years. But.
Well, see, here's the thing with VR is that it would only reach a small audience that plays the game, because I'm pretty sure as of right now, Xbox doesn't even have a VR compatibility. No, so you're only really going towards PlayStation users, and if you're saying that if the regular PlayStation can't handle it and only the Pro can, then you're even narrowing down your audience even more. So it gets to a point where is it really even worth it for them to try to implement it?
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Well,
they'd be targeting PlayStation and PC.
True.
But if you compare it to Elite Dangerous, you can do VR for Elite Dangerous on PC. But it's not available for PlayStation, and if you Google it, all you get is a load of people saying it'll never work, it's not powerful enough, and it can't handle it. So just as a side note, there's a British chap called Up Is Not Jump, I think is his YouTube channel, I'm fairly sure it was up is not jump, something like that. And he does a few quite amusing videos about VR, and his one about Elite Dangerous is really funny. If you've tried it, and I think you said that you have tried Elite Dangerous, and you need assistance. Well, if you watch this video, you'll understand exactly where he's coming from. It's really quite good.
So yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that because I seen that
Yeah.
in the Skype messages that we were sending back and forth to each other, and you mentioned.
Yes,
so.
and there was also the other one, which was a reference to giant sandworms or something of that nature, which clearly harks back to the original E3 demo video where you had the massive sandworms. I can't believe that they'll ever be in the game. It just seems to me too difficult to implement. What are you going to do with the ground if a sandworm? I suppose if it's sand and you can treat sand a bit like water, you can close the gap again afterwards.
Well, do you shortly after Next came out, Sean Murray was doing a bunch of interviews, and in one of the interviews he actually talked about the sandworm problem, and he said that the reason why they're not in the game is because they're too overpowered. And he said that when they tested it, they were so strong and they were so random that it was too overpowered for the game, and he said that people wouldn't like the way that they would be implemented.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So that's why they're not there. And I honestly don't think they ever will be there. I just don't see it. It's something cool that people talk about and like, oh, sandworms, this and that, but I just don't think we're ever going to see it. Just from what Sean Murray said in that interview, it just sounds like it's something that it's nice on paper, but when it gets put into a game, it's just doesn't work.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we're unlikely to see it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so you had a list of stuff that you wanted to go over.
Yes, because in your when it was you and Ash last week, you were chatting about games of the year or new games this year.
Yeah.
And whilst I don't think I've bought a game this year that has been released this year, I've got a few games that are new to me rather than just new.
Right.
Okay, let's get to the two perhaps quicker ones just out of the way. There's a PlayStation VR game called Headmaster, which is basically it's a soccer heading game. So you just stand there, footballs are coming to your head, and you're just trying to head them into targets, not just into goals, but there's exploding balls into balloons, into all manner of past cardboard boxes. It's presented in a really entertaining comedic way.
Oh, so hold on a second. So are you actually using your head to
Yes.
So you're with the VR headset on, you're actually using your head to do that? Oh my gosh.
It's, put the controller down. You don't need it. Even the menus, you just look at what you want. And it's you're nodding your head, and
I need to see video of this. I need to see this. I have a certain picture in my mind. Like I just got to make sure that like this is really what's going on.
Yeah, but you see, with the VR, because it's so the image that your eyes are fed is keyed so directly to how your head is moving that you're just sold on the environment, and it just feels so natural. And they've implemented it in such a way that you tilt your head to the side a little bit, and you can see the effect that it makes on where the ball goes. So it feels fair. When you don't get it, it's because you did it wrong, rather than the game is cheating or cheating you. And it's very comedically presented. There's really good sort of controlling voice to it. Yeah, it's very good.
I'm actually going to go on. I'm going to write this down in my notes on my phone.
Yeah. It's called Headmaster. There must be some videos of people playing it from, outside watching them. But yeah, it's just what you'd expect. Someone with a headset on, nodding their head.
Okay, I got it. Oh, yeah, okay. I got it on here. I got it right here. Okay. Okay. Oh, God, I can't wait to go watch these videos later. Okay, thank you. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
So if you... it was cheap in a sale, I think, so it's only a few quid. But it's been really good fun. My daughter and I had a good session on it. It's really good. Yes, so if you have a VR, that's really, really worth getting. Or if you get the VR at some point,
right? Pick
it up in a sale. The other quick one that I bought, but I think it might well have come out as a PS Plus game, is What Remains of Edith Finch. It's an indie title. It's quite short, only a few hours. It's another one of those kind of what do the people call them? Walking simulators, which makes it sound awful and dull and slow. Mm-hmm. But it is a sort of walk through the old house, solve some fairly basic sort of puzzles or little mini games, I suppose, and uncover and unlock the story of the family that lived in the house. And I
actually think I've actually
really
heard of. I've actually heard of this, so I think I know exactly what this is. I'm just looking it up right now, and a lot of this stuff looks familiar. So I think.
Yeah. Well, I know I bought it, but I think it was a freebie on the PS Plus games in the fairly recent past. So if you've been diligent in buying them, rather purchasing them in the store when they're free, you should be able to download it and play it, and it's well worth 3 hours.
Have you ever played a game, the Firewatch?
Yes, I've got that and played that as well.
I was going to say, you probably like that one, because that's kind of same type of thing.
Yeah,
where you're
walk around and discover the story, absolutely. Yep. The story in this is better.
Okay.
I'd say this is much better than Firewatch.
Okay.
And heaps ahead of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which is another one of like that, which is... I ended up not liking it. It looks very pretty, lovely representation of an English village, but it's just so slow with so little story that I know I got frustrated in the end. I wanted a run button.
I will have to look out for this and see if I either have it on my PlayStation already, or if I can just pick this up, because I like those type of games where it's
good, okay,
like a mystery walk around type of thing. So it's
well, definitely, What Remains of Edith Finch is the best one of those that I've played.
Awesome, because I liked Firewatch, so
I did too, but I think the story in this is better. Yeah, more rewarding.
Gotcha.
And the final game that is new to me this year is Elite Dangerous, which I've played. It's basically been my space game up until Next came out.
Right,
I've played quite a lot of it, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Do you have the edition that allows you to land on planets?
No, I don't. I bought Elite Dangerous, the basic one, in the sale. I didn't buy the Commander edition, which gives you both. It gives you the Horizons update, because I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to get on with it. Because, look, you know No Man's Sky, and you know what it's like. And if you imagine No Man's Sky as being the graphic novel of space adventures, then Elite Dangerous is more like an encyclopedia. Right. At the face of it, it's very, very dry, detailed, and without the... I don't want to say without the fun, because that's not true. You can find a lot of fun in Elite Dangerous, but it's a different sort of fun as what you get in No Man's Sky. There's much less, by a factor of 100, hand-holding in Elite Dangerous. You start, and whilst there are a few little tutorials that you should do, because they do teach you some essential basics, they're not anything like as much as you probably need. What you really need is to go and spend a lot of time watching some YouTube videos to understand how the game works and what you need to do. But once you master the basics of flight and exploration and a dithery bit of combat or trading or whatever it is you want to get out of it, there's so much there. It can suck away hours and hours just as you're grinding to earn money to get a new ship.
I heard like the trading in it is really detailed.
Yes, it is extremely detailed, and it's kind of weird that to get the most out of Elite Dangerous, you need to sit there with your laptop beside you, open up at some of the internet resources that there are available, so that you can find out. Okay, you can put in the station that you're at, and you can tell it the size of cargo, the volume of cargo you can take, and you can say, well, find me a nice sort of trading route that's going to earn me a lot of money, and it'll tell you what to buy and where to take it so you can sell it at a good profit. And that's all outside of the game. It's it's really weird. You would imagine that those sorts of things would be available in game. They've added some functionality to make that sort of data available to you, but it's nowhere near the ease of these Elite Dangerous database (EDDB) on the net. But I really like the flying around and the discovery. I've done one really quite long trip, and you go and you scanning planets, and it's the thrill of getting that first. I'm the first person that has scanned and uploaded the data for this planet. When you see that, you're the first person that's done it, even though it's quite a big galaxy. It's quite a thrill. It's quite a thrill. I haven't done sorry, yeah, go on.
No, I was just saying, like, I want to get down into Elite Dangerous, just because I think the multiplayer and the PvP is what I'm looking for in that game, because I heard it's a lot better. But I'm so bad at Elite Dangerous. I can't even land properly. So I need a lot of help in that game before I actually start to have fun in that game, because I played for a little bit and it was so detailed and it was so over the top that it wasn't fun, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You've almost got to go to school before you can start enjoying it. But
it's a shame too, because I have a feeling that if I never played No Man's Sky and how easy it is to take off and land and warp around and stuff that game spoiled me because it's so easy. So when you hop into Elite, it's the complete opposite. So when you're playing that game, it's there's so many consequences and there's so many details and how you do things. No Man's Sky spoiled me in the aspects where if I never played No Man's Sky, I probably would have a better time in Elite, just because I would just be more apt to learn how to do things the right way.
Yeah, I can understand that. But as you were saying about the flying model, I think it's much better in Elite Dangerous. It feels far more like you're flying a ship than No Man's Sky. And yes, there's lots to learn. I think that the chap called a YouTuber called Obsidian Ant is. He's got some very good sort of get you going videos, 3 or 4 of those, and it'll really teach you the basics of what you need to do.
Yeah, he makes really good videos. I'm just really bad at following his videos, apparently.
Well, I'd be delighted if we can find time to get online together. And I've never joined up online with anyone on Elite, so that'd be really cool. That'd be really fun.
I have to.
But you see, sorry, go on, come.
No, I was saying I have to re-download it, but after I get off of here, over the weekend, I'm gonna put that back in my PlayStation. So eventually, over time, we will find time together to hop on that game and play with each other.
Do you have the Horizons update?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I'm going to buy it. I was just hoping it might come on sale at some point, so I don't have to spend 20 quid on it, which is more than I paid for the base game.
Right.
But yes, okay, that's fine. And the playing with friends, I think I'm right in saying that when you look at the galaxy map in Elite, you can see where all of your friends are in the galaxy. If they're online, you can see a little marker for them. But I think I'm right in saying that there's no such thing as the No Man's Sky. Oh, I'll jump in with my friend. If you want to go and be with them, you've got to fly there.
Right. Yeah.
So it could take, if you're a long way apart, it could take quite a while to get there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to us getting involved in that. So.
Yeah, no, that would be really fun. That'd be really fun. So yeah, definitely. All
right. So was there anything? Let's see. I'm trying to go over. You said something else too about Darksiders. What's this Darksiders 3 that you're talking about?
Right, I know nothing about Darksiders. I just happened to be looking on in the UK we have this shop called Game, which is pretty much the only remaining high street game store.
Mm-hmm.
And so Darksiders 3, I don't know anything about Darksiders. I don't no idea what it is, but Darksiders 3 is coming out later this year,
mm-hmm.
and there is an Apocalypse edition available through Game, and it will set you back £350.
Oh my god! So what is that in? Let's see. What is that in American money here?
Well, it's going to be more than $350.
440, basically $446 US.
Right, there you go.
Oh my god!
But that'll be plus sales tax as well, won't it?
I mean, that's not even counting in sales tax. I mean, that's it. 446 is just straight up price. So you're talking about at least like maybe 460, 465 with sale tax included.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had a quick look. It's got 4 10-inch figurines of presumably characters from the game, as well as some sort of heavy pendant of some description, which presumably is game related. So, you know, if you're a collector, it's just, I mean, it's bonkers though, isn't it? Who would want to spend that sort of money?
Darksiders, like, I don't even know if I've even heard of that. I'm looking right now.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what the game is. But, anyway, there you go. So I won't be putting down any pre-order for Darksiders 3 Apocalypse Edition. But I'm very tempted to pre-order Red Dead Redemption 2.
I think you have. Okay, so I think today's the deadline. If you pre-order on PlayStation by today, I think it is. So either the 17th or the 19th, you get like a special the special treasure map or something like that.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm going to wait until the proper reviews are out.
Yeah, me too. I'm not. I don't care what's. I mean, I don't care what's in that stupid treasure map. You're not going to get me to pre-order the game 2 or 3 months in advance just because of that. So, like, no. I'm not even sure if I'm even going to pre-order it. Like, I'm really skeptical of Red Dead 2.
Okay.
I have utmost confidence that the single player of the game is going to be phenomenal. Okay. What I'm worried about is the multiplayer. Because I see it from the point of view as like Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay. The story in Grand Theft Auto 5 was really good. But they stopped supporting the single player mode like after a year or two of the game being out, and they focused everything on multiplayer. So when you play Grand Theft Auto Online, like there's tons of content there.
Yeah, there's loads.
And okay, so the reason why there can be tons of content there is because they're basing it off of our time, the time that we live in right now. Okay, so when I look at online and multiplayer in Red Dead, I don't see the content there. Because it's not like you have like how many different horse and buggies are you going to be able to get?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like there's no planes, there's no bicycle.
Hold on. Maybe there'll be a Pegasus.
Yeah. I mean, right. I mean, like, what are they gonna like? There wasn't even really that many options of guns either. I mean, there was some revolvers and some rifles. I mean, but that's about it. I mean, so I just don't see where the online content is going to come for that game. like I said, I have total confidence that the single player of the game is going to be amazing. I'm just worried about the online content, and that I don't know if I want to spend $60 on it. Like, that would be a game. I know. Well, I would say that'd be a game I wait for a sale, but Rockstar notoriously never puts their games on sale until like 5 years after they've been out. But
yeah, GTA 5 was, still quite expensive, even the end of last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm really up in the air on it.
You expressed exactly the same concern that I've got. If you're in it for the multiplayer, I suspect you're going to be disappointed with it if you compare it with GTA 5 online. I think
right.
That, as you say, there's so much variety that you can add because of modern day setting that it's just wiped out. It's just not going to be there in 1899.
Right, exactly.
So, but I'm more of a single player story type player, so I'm very keen to do it. I loved the first Red Dead Redemption. Really, really enjoyed that game. Loved the story, the implementation. Thought it was grand. So I'll definitely be in. Probably from very soon after launch, if not on launch day. And I'll end up stumping up for the online, download version probably, because then my son can play it as well.
Right.
But other than I haven't got much more to say about Red Dead other than the fact that it's I'm really looking forward to playing it. But I think there's a couple on your sites that you're really
absolutely. So me and Ash have talked about this a couple times, but I mean, I'm really excited for Fallout 76 and the new Tomb Raider that's coming out.
Right.
The new Tomb Raider comes out in next month, I think. Less than a month.
Oh, is it so soon? Right, okay.
Yeah, so that's right around the corner, and I'm really super excited about that. I'm not sure if you played the other two newer versions of Tomb Raider.
I've played I played the first one, the sort of the reboot.
Yeah.
And I'm teetering on the brink of buying the second one. Because it's in the sale. So about £12, I think.
Dude, if it's on sale, I honestly, man, that's worth a pickup. And those two games combined are probably some of the best games that I played recently as far as single player.
I loved the first one. The first one's brilliant. Loved it.
If you like the first one, then you're going to love the second one. The second one's just along the same lines. The story in it is excellent. The presentation of it is excellent. The puzzles are just as good.
Actually, that's a good question, because the puzzles, the sort of the tombs in the Tomb Raider reboot weren't quite as big, perhaps, as in some previous games. So, have we got? Is it a bit more toomy?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more evolved. I know for a fact that there was one I was in, and it literally took me 2 days to figure it out. Like, the sequence that I had to do things in, where it was like,
cool.
So, I mean, it wasn't like just so cut and dry, like, oh, do this to do this. Like, no, like you had to sit there and try certain things out, and you had to time everything perfectly to get everything to go the right way. So, I mean, not all of them aren't like that. There are easier ones, but there was one in particular where, like, I sat there for 2 days trying to figure it out.
Well done for not cheating.
No, dude, Tomb Raider is a game that I'll never, ever look up guides online, because I love that form of game. I love the puzzle, trying to figure stuff out. And like I said, there was one in particular where I was stuck for 2 days trying to figure it out. And it was so hard. And after I figured it out, I felt so good. I was like, yes, but I mean, and then after you figure it out, you're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Like, why didn't I just think of that in the first place? It's like,
but that's the sign of a really good puzzle, isn't it? That afterwards you say, I should have thought of that. Instead of, if you go, well, that was so unobvious and obtuse that I can only get it by trial and error, then that's, it's a bad puzzle.
And the good thing, too, is that if you're planning on thinking about getting the new one, the first two link to each other. So it is an actual story where one piggybacks off the other.
Ah, right. Okay, good.
So if you played the first reboot, the rebooted one, the second one will carry over from that.
Excellent. Okay.
And so in this third one that's going to come out, that one carries on from the second one. So it is like it is like a story, you know. So it's like a book almost, where all the things kind of like go with each other. So,
well, you persuaded me. I'll accidentally download that very soon.
Trust me, I'm guarantee you that you won't be disappointed.
Oh, and there's a VR segment as well in the second one.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, a little standalone bit to.
There's that, and there's also a survival mode in that one,
okay.
where you can custom make how you play each level or something like that. So like you can make it really hard, and so like you could really like it's like a mission modifier or something like that, and you get like these cards or whatever, and it's really fun. It's they don't have that in the first one. They have this what I'm talking about in the second one, and it adds another layer to the game where if you can go back and play it again, but you can make it like all types of hard if you really wanted to, or you know what I'm saying, like, so it's pretty good.
Right, okay. Can you make it all types of easy? Because that's my sort of difficulty.
I'm sure, probably. I mean, like,
it's all right. I'm joking. Hey, did you see the Tomb Raider film that was out just this year?
No, not the newest one. I haven't seen the newest one yet. So
it's good. It's worth watching.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna watch it on Netflix
when it appears.
Yeah, when it appears. So that's trust me, it's on my radar. I missed going to the movie theater when it was still in theaters. So I actually went to the movies with my wife, and we were like, okay, let's go see the new Tomb Raider. And then when we got to the movie theater, we just missed it being shown. Like they just took it out of the theaters. So I missed it by that much. But we have Netflix, so when it's on Netflix, I'll be watching it.
Yeah, it'll be on there at some point, won't it?
Yep. Yeah. So.
Okay, and so come on, tell me about Fallout 76. I've tried Fallout 4 for a bit, got a little bit bored with it. Sorry, but why is it 76 and not 5?
So Fallout 76. This Fallout is going to be different from the. I'll give you an example from Fallout 4, where Fallout 4 is strictly a single player game. Fallout 76 is an online game. So you're in a map that's like 4 times the size of Fallout 4, and you're in a map with like 20 or 30 other real players. It's it's strictly a multiplayer game. And so there's base building involved in it. You can there's instances like player instances like where you can go and do stuff and fight bosses or whatever together, and basically they're leaving it up to the player base to write the narrative of what's going on, I guess. Like, there's obviously a story to it. There's Fallout 76 was the very first Fallout shelter to open after the war. I think they opened up like 20 or 25 years after the first bombs dropped. So these are like the first settlers to go out into the world after the bombs dropped.
Oh, okay.
So
Vault 76.
Yeah, Vault 76.
Excuse me.
So
is that drawing a lot from something like the Elder Scrolls Online? You know, that sort of feeling. Is that what?
Yeah. If you ever played Elder Scrolls Online, it probably is going to go along those lines. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be that detailed per se. Where there's going to be like towns, and there's no like actual NPCs that will give you missions. Okay, there's going to be like robots that are around that will give you missions, and there's going to be like the holotapes that will kind of give you missions to do. But you're not going to be able to interact with actual NPC people. That's what I'm saying. They're leaving it up to the player base.
Because everybody's dead.
Well, not just that. I mean, like, don't forget it's the first vault. So you're the base. Yeah. You're the settlers that are making all this. So everything, all the other games are based off of, are basically based off of what this is right here. So like, so like as of right now, like there's no raiders or anything like that, or there's no factions or anything like that. They're leaving it up to the player base to make their own factions and stuff like that. So like there's going to be like villages that people build that are like trading posts where you can go there and trade materials and stuff. Or there's going to be players that go out and like they have bad factions where there's going to be, they're going to make the raiders, like the first set of raiders that were in the game. You know what I'm saying? So like it's it's really going to be community driven where let's see where the community takes us. You know what I'm saying?
That's quite an interesting social experiment almost, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you know, and obviously there's player versus player combat in this too. So you're going to have people that are going to help each other, and you're going to have people that are going to fight each other. You can destroy you can attack other people's settlements, and people that have settlements can put like defenses up and stuff like that. So I mean, it's going to be different. You know, it's going to be a totally different Fallout from what we're used to. It's not going to be just so cut and dry where it's like you watch somebody's playthrough and everybody's playthrough is the same and the story is the same. It's going to be, the story is basically going to be built off of the community. Kind of how No Man's Sky does it right now with all the federations and all the hubs and stuff like that. I mean, that game, that's all player driven, and there's tons of people that are into that type of role play. So I think this is going to be like a really role play heavy, community driven game. I mean, they're just giving you the base product and what you can do in it, and then they're like, here, just go out and do your thing and see what happens, kind of thing.
Well, you almost make me want to buy it
now. You know, it's very depending on who you talk to, there's a lot of people that are waiting for it and are excited about it, and there's a lot of people that are really bummed out. There's a lot of people that love single player.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Scripts,
they want like the same again.
Yeah, they want single player scripted gameplay, and they don't want other player interaction, you know, to ruin their gameplay. But then there's people out there that like to role play, and they like to set up like little colonies and stuff like that, and set up like, you know, groups of people that are all together and they build together and all this other stuff. So like you're gonna have, it's like a mixed bag. I mean, it depends on your play style. I mean, if you like online interaction with players, you're gonna love it. If you just like single player games, then that might not be your cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people are scared that Bethesda themselves are going to start moving away from single player games. But I mean, don't forget the new game they're coming out with, like either next year or the year after that, is a single player game. It's a new IP for them, that's Starfield. So, I mean, I don't know how they can say that Bethesda's going to go away from single player games. I mean, they're coming out with a brand new single player game within a year or two, and on top of that, they're coming out with a new Elder Scrolls. So that's good, and I'm sure that's going to be single player too. So, people are just way overreactive when they, you know, it's like, don't mess with my Fallout. I want my single player gameplay. You know, I don't want multiplayer, and this, like, then play something else, or just wait a year for something else to come out. Like, don't.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. There are so many games. You don't need to get too attached to anything, really. You know what I mean?
You know, it's just like, I watched some of these videos online, people talking about like angry about it, and this one guy was going off. He's like, if it's an online game, if my internet goes down for a day, I'm not gonna be able to play this game. That's so stupid. And I'm like, well, dude, if your internet goes out for a day, just a thing called going outside and living in the real world for once in your life. Like, your life doesn't revolve around playing video games. Why don't you go to like the park or go for a walk in the woods or something like that and actually enjoy real life instead of worrying about like your internet being out for a day? You know, like,
absolutely. People get too tied up in it.
It's just like some of the people. I mean, there are some people that have legitimate problems with the online version of the game, but I mean, like, and I understand it, and like I have worries too. But unfortunately, like, we don't know what's going to happen yet, so I'm not going to sit here and get worried about it, something over nothing, if I don't know how it's going to be. Like, I'm not going to sit here and make accusations or assume anything is that's the way it's going to be until it actually comes out. But I mean, listen, games are multiplayer now. That's the way of the world. Everything is online. Everything, like, you know, there are still single player games, and like, but a majority of my friends play online games. I mean, like, I play online games. I mean, I still love my single players. I still play Skyrim, because I love that gameplay. Oh, I love Skyrim. But at the same time, like, I love playing. I love playing games with my friends because, like where I live right now, like I don't live in my hometown. I live like a state or two away. So a lot of my friends that I grew up with, they're a couple states from me. So it's hard for me to drive to go and see them. So the only way I still get the chance to talk to them or spend time with them, like outside of like going to driving to seeing them, is I play games with them online.
Yeah.
So like it's a good way for me to kind of stay in touch with some of my friends back home and have fun and, do some stuff. But I mean, I don't know.
My son does exactly the same. He's recently gone to university, and he basically keeps in touch with all of his school friends exactly the same way, just online, chatting, playing games, sometimes in the same game, sometimes different. Just keeping up to date. And I would do the same if I had any friends. So
wow, that's so sad.
that's why I'm replaying Skyrim, but in the VR, so that I don't have to see real people.
How is Skyrim in VR? I've always wondered.
It is. It's amazing. It's with the basic PS4, it's a little bit grainy. So when you get up close to people, all looks a little bit VHS rather than DVD.
Okay.
But having, because I use the move controllers as well, so having one move controller as a sword in one hand, and while the other hand is just going and spraying fire over somebody, is just so cool.
That's so awesome.
Unbelievably immersive. It's amazing. And even those just coming across a wolf or something in the wild makes you jump like Billy Ho. Oh my god, he looks so scary. And the first spider you see, I think there's one quite early on in the game, isn't there? It's enormous, absolutely enormous, and the scale of things just amazing. Find someone that's got it and have a go, because it's well worth it.
Awesome. I want to pick up a VRs eventually.
They dropped the price just last week or the week before, so the recommended price is dropped by a big chunk, I think.
I got to look into it. I got a couple other things I want to get off my list. Like, I need a new PC really bad. Just not for gaming, just in general. My PC is like really outdated, so like that's first on my list. But after my PC is all settled in, like I do want to get a VR headset. Just because, like you said, the price has come down. There's quite a few games out for it, and I want to try it. I'm so curious, man. Like I like those immersive type of setups. So like, I'm just really curious about it.
Well, my only suggestion about PlayStation VR is that I have a suspicion that when the next PlayStation 5 or whatever they call it, comes out, I think they're gonna introduce a proper next version of the VR headset with a better resolution screens in it. So if you want to try it before, I would suggest looking out for a good condition second-hand one, just so you can pick it up, try it, and it's cheaper to get.
Right.
Or wait it out and see what happens.
Right. That makes a lot of sense too.
Because I think this one is really the first dipping the toe into the VR. See how well it sells. I think they sold enough to keep pushing it. So I think the PlayStation 5 will have all of the VR gubbins internalised, so it's got less cables and less hassle. And they'll bring out a headset with a better resolution, so it looks crisp. Because at the moment, as I say, you've got that screen door effect and a graininess, VHS versus DVD, as I said before.
Right.
And I've just looked at how long we've been recording, and Ash is going to be really cross.
Oh my god, he's going
to render all of this.
He is going to kill me. when he sees this and he's like, oh my god, guys, like, what were you doing? He's gonna. It's like, you know what? This will be the first time and probably the last time he'll let me. He'll let me do the recording.
Well, we did have that hiccup with the phone in the middle, so we could just cut it off there and do this as another edition later on.
Yeah, part 2. Yeah, we could always do that. So, but anyways, listen, man, it's a pleasure to talk to you, man. I'm so glad that we got a chance to link back up. It's been a couple weeks, so I'm glad that we were.
No, it's been really, really good.
I'm glad that we got a chance to talk.
What we need is some sort of proper outro, the domestics at the end that tell people how they can get in touch with us. And
yeah. So everybody, listen, we've got a couple new subscribers. I think we're up to like 50 something now. So anybody that's subscribing, like, thank you very much. Anybody that wants to check out King's story videos he's been putting out, I highly suggest them because they're really good. And follow us on. You can follow me on Twitter. Do you have a Twitter, by the way, or anything like that? Or any type of social media that you want to plug?
No, I did try Twitter, but I kind of fell out of favour. So,
trust me, it's a horrible place. Trust me, it's a horrible place. I mean, there's lots of good people out there, but then there's a lot of bad people and horrible things going on there.
If people want to get in touch, just I think at the moment. Just comment on the YouTube video, and I tend to keep an eye on them, so I'll respond there. I know Ash said that he's got an email address, but I don't think he told me what it was. So next episode we will advertise the email address, unless Ash doesn't want to, in which case we won't.
and people can follow me on Twitter. Let's see, what is it, at Retro Wi-Fi Gaming, or if you just type in Multi-Game Pasta, like, I'll be there. I am pretty active on Twitter, just because that's really the only form of social media that I do. I don't do Facebook. I have a YouTube page, but I do a lot of ARC content, Ark Survival Evolved, which we don't talk about on here because Ash hates the game. But right. I do a lot of ARC content. I am waiting to get a capture card so I can do No Man's Sky content. But in the meantime, if you are an ARC fan, I do ARC. I haven't posted a video in about a month or so just because I'm playing next. But I have about 3 videos I'm ready to record or not record, but edit it and get on my page. So if you follow me there for ARC content, there's.
Oh, okay. I've not seen any gameplay, so I'll have a look.
I do a lot of single player content for ARC, like base building and exploring and stuff like that. Because there's so many different maps and so much you can do in single player in that game. I also play a lot of PvP. I tend not to post my PvP playthrough because people can find your server. And then they can just, like, there's people on the internet just want to watch the world burn. So if they see, or if they find out what your server is, they'll just come and just wipe you. Yeah. So like I tend not to put my PvP play stuff on my YouTube page just for that reason, because I like to keep that separate. Sure. But single player, I do a lot of single player content and just have fun with that. Ark's a fun game. It's involved a lot of crafting. The building mechanics are really fun in it. So it's just a fun game for me to play, and that's about what I really do on there. To be honest with you, I've done some Skyrim playthroughs a long time ago. I've done some No Man's Sky. That's a lot of video. Yeah. I mean, I've done some No Man's Sky playthrough. Like, I think some of the videos I have in No Man's Sky are probably from like 1.0 or 1.1 or something like that. Like before any of the updates came out. Right. It was like really old playthrough. I want to post more. I want to get a capture card first before I do anything else.
Yeah, anything I've captured, I've just done using the PlayStation and then exported it with a USB stick and edited it on my laptop. But right. Yeah, I guess the capture card makes things easier because I've got to keep remembering that it'll only record an hour.
And I found that if you the higher time you record on your PlayStation, it lowers the resolution. So
it does. For me, it's down to 720, but I think for you on the Pro, you can go up to HD.
Yeah, but I still think it still cuts it down because I found that like if I record, my video quality is different from when I record from a half hour to even 15 minutes.
Right, okay.
So if I have it chosen on recording for a 15-minute block, the video quality seems better than if I have it chosen to record it on a half-hour block.
Okay. I'll check that out because that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do something different so that they lower the quality if you choose a higher time block to record at.
Right.
Can't confirm, but that's the way that I've seen it. Just for me, looking at video quality and stuff like that, it definitely looks better the lower the time period that I have it selected for. So, all right. So, anyways, I want to get off here before Ash completely chops my head off. Everybody, hope you loved the episode. I had a fun time. Ash will be back. Don't worry. Next time we record. And
it'll only be an hour.
Yeah, it will only be an hour instead of almost 2. And I don't know. Everybody, I'll just use Ash's catch line, and I'll see you guys next time.